Yo, yo, yo. Gothic, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Yo, how was your weekend? How did the birthday celebration go? What's up? It's good to see you, Gothic. Ferret, what up, dog? Yo, 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 bro. How was your weekend, dude? Happy Monday, guys. Happy Monday. So let me just start off. Weekend was good. Went good. I'm glad. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So I have headache ridden. Oh, dude, that sucks, bro. That sucks. No bueno, man. Bummer. You know, is it like you think like maybe allergy season stuff, or is it just not good headache stuff? I mean, not that any headaches are good yet. Yeah, Gothic, what's up? What it do? Part of a condition? I understand that. Sorry, brother. I understand that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That sucks, man. I'm sorry, dude. Is it getting better? Are you starting to feel better? So today and tomorrow, it's gonna be a bit of a wonky week, guys. Your own log. Give me. Come and go. Same for me, Ferret. Yeah, I deal with chronic headaches nowadays too, man. So mine have been more manageable over the past like year and a half. Thank God. Dude, they got really, really bad for a while. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll put you on. I'll put you on the right track, Gothic. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me address Ferret here, and then I'll give you a quick lowdown of what I've done. Okay. And maybe it'll help you kind of figure out your own way forward. I'll give you what I've done and see if you can take it and run with it. Okay. Yeah, my weekend was good, dude. My weekend was good. They did Choo Choo Charles for GDQ. Yo, you can actually run that game really, really fast, dude. Yeah, Gothic. Just give me like 2 minutes, man, and I'll dive into that for 1 second for you. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, dude, I'm so excited to play Choo Choo Charles for Halloween, dude. Yeah, that's cool, man. I haven't even really gotten to watch hardly any of GDQ, unfortunately, man. But what a great organization. We should probably promote that this morning. It's totally done now, huh? Maybe we'll see how much they made in the news. It finished up yesterday, right? Yesterday was the finale stuff, I think. So we'll try to pull it up and see if we can see how much they raised. I think this was for Doctors Without Borders, right? Oh, yo, sick. Nice, Ferret. Yeah. Don't they have they have links on their own site too, right? Yeah, Doctors Without Borders. They have links on their own site, right? Not just through Reddit. Also, yeah. Just asking. I'd probably rather promote through their own site if that's the case, rather than push people through Reddit. But either way, to get people over to, and I can pull it up for people. It's not a big deal. But I appreciate you reminding me, dude, because GDQ is an amazing organization. If you guys don't know what we're talking about Games Done Quick. Yeah, I don't know if they have the VOD links in there. I know that they have their own YouTube channel and stuff. I don't know if they have how well they do with linking that stuff up through their own website, though. You know what I mean? I just don't know. It would just seem more appropriate if people were interested to give them the link to the VODs through the GDQ website so they could actually see what the organization's about too, rather than go to Reddit, you know what I mean? But I do appreciate it, brother. GDQ is Games Done Quick. They do a few different events each year. It's all about speed running, and they get a bunch of gamers together. It's very inclusive. It's a cool organization. They're all about generating money for charities, man. I think the last one, they generated well over $3 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation or something like that, you know? No links to the videos on their site. Okay, I know. I'm pretty sure they have a YouTube channel too, though, and we'll try. I'll see if I can find that during the news and throw it in there, dude. Thanks, Ferret. Thanks, buddy. So they do like Doctors Without Borders. They do Prevent Cancer. They've got a bunch of other really, really good nonprofit organizations, and these events they do are all about lifting up the gaming community. It's very inclusive. It's really cool. And they generate a lot of money for great organizations, man. Oh, yo, thanks, brother. Thanks, dude. Right there, right there. Our buddy Ferret, dude, put it right there in chat for everybody. So thanks, man. Thanks. That's awesome. Yeah, so their YouTube channel, man, has all, like, their past event stuff and everything like that, which is really cool. And he's got their Games Done Quick website there, too. So if you want to know more about Games Done Quick, they just finished their summer event. But we'll try to pick it up this morning on the news and see how much they raised for Doctors Without Borders for this event, okay? Gothic. This would be my advice. So, everything I've done, I'm not a graphic artist. I'm not a graphic artist. I have a little bit of experience, very, very shallow experience in graphic design, just base level stuff through my education, my higher level education for my IT degree. But that was not my focus. So I just got some real shallow stuff, and that was a long time ago. What I did was I took some time before I even started streaming. Whenever I knew I was going to start streaming, I wanted to make sure that I had some kind of decent stuff set up as far as scenes, and one of the first things I thought was, like, I want to make a logo, right? I want to make a logo, but I want to make a logo that would play into what my moniker is, what my name is, OutsiderAntics, right? And I wanted it to be something that would be easy, simple, and noticeable. And that's what I went for. Everybody has their own, you know, what they want it to be and come up with. Sometimes people change it as they come up with their, you know, they come up with something originally and then it changes over time or whatever. I don't think I'll ever change mine. I'm cool with it. I like it. It's simple. It's easily recognizable, and that's what I really wanted to go for. And it plays into my name, like you can see on the overlay here, right? See on the overlay, it's like the O and then the A, and that's really what I wanted. So what I did was I used a site, and I'll link it for you. I'll pull it up real quick. I'll pull it up. Let's go ahead and get into this news segment. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Happy Monday. I'll keep talking to Gothic while we pull into this news segment here. We'll segue into this. So, first of all, this is what we're listening to this morning. This is Crypto the Necro Dancer. It is a cool adventure RPG rhythm-based game. It's got a great extensive soundtrack. Highly recommend checking it out if you're into that kind of game, or you're just digging the soundtrack. You can just grab the soundtrack if you're into it. So that's on Steam. That's what we're listening to. But I'm going to go ahead and kill the music, and we'll get into this video gaming news segment, okay? This is there's a lot of free software and stuff like that out there that you can use to kind of just do some shallow to mid-level, like, graphic design, artwork, and stuff like that, that you don't necessarily need to pay for. And one of the things that I found that I really liked in being able to create some stuff, but you have to be willing to play with it, learn it, and just be kind of self-taught with it, or go watch YouTube videos to help you out too if you run into any kind of snag that you don't understand how to get things done, is this site right here. It's Pixlr. Pixlr is a really easy. This is where I started. Okay, so this is where I started off with doing a lot of stuff for my own channel, and it's any kind of like real easy to make, like emotes and stuff like that, and it's just really nice to be able to go in and just it's website based, so you don't have to download any software. You just go in here and create stuff. You don't even have to log in. There are a few different versions of Pixlr that might be a little more from like basic to a little more heavy with the things that you can get done. But they have different like templates that you can use. There's you just basically go to like create new, and you can just go into like any of these different kinds of things that you want to create. You know, how big you want to create it. If you want it to have a background or no background, you can just create a name, and then anything you create off here, you can just export it. And normally what I do is whenever I get a finished product, I'll kind of I'll export it as like a JPEG, but I'll also export it as Pixlr's own extension, because if you export it as another copy as Pixlr's own extension, you can always import it back into Pixlr's website, and it'll be you can break it all the way back down if you want to, and work it however you need to. Whereas when you save it as like a any kind of other file extension, it's kind of just done. It's like finished, and you can't work with it anymore. So that would be some of my advice. It's a cool site. Go in here and you can just mess around with this, figure out, I think, you know, use your creative side to figure out like what you want your logo to be, and then just play around with this side a little bit. There's different forms. Pixlr, let me see here. So this is what I'll give you. I'll give you their base website. You can see there's Pixlr X, which is quick and easy to design for just starting projects. And then there's Pixlr E that gives you a bit more of some advanced options for getting stuff done when you're ready to move on to that side of it, okay? So I'm just going to give you this link, my friend. You can mess around with that. And this will at least get you started with some of that like graphic design process. And then, you know, if you really get to a point where you're feeling like the Pixlr stuff is not enough for what you're trying to get done, then, you know, maybe it could be time to look into some more, you know, edit heavy kind of software or something, rather than like a web-based kind of situation like this, you know what I mean? But this should be something to get you started anyways, okay? Right there in chat. If you have any other questions, let me know. But that's what, I mean, the big thing for me, I think, for people is like, if you're not wanting to put your projects in the hands of other people, you've just got to be willing to take the time to dive in and learn some of this stuff and figure out how to do it yourself, you know? And the more you mess with it, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And it's a pretty easy system, the Pixlr stuff is. So if you have an idea of what you're trying to create, start messing around with Pixlr, and you'll probably get the hang of it pretty quick. Yeah. And even the more advanced side of Pixlr has some pretty cool options for getting some different things done. Does that help? Let's okay, cool. Yeah. Let me know if you have any other questions. That's my advice. Start messing with that. They've got it's actually, I mean, I was pretty impressed whenever I found it. I was pretty impressed when I found it as to how many, especially the more advanced side of it, the Pixlr X side, or which one was it? Hold on. I never can remember. Oh yeah, you can see right here too. They've got these also, but the yeah, the Design Express, the Pixlr X stuff, I was pretty actually surprised at how deep it actually went for just a web-based free kind of design editor, you know what I mean? It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. GIMP is another free tool. Yep. Somewhat advanced. Yep. Yeah. That's a good recommendation, Ferret. Yeah. Yeah. So that's probably not a bad recommendation right there. If you're GIMP is actual software, right? Like you would need to download that, install that, and everything, right? If I remember correctly, which isn't normally a big deal, but yeah. So if you get to the point with, dude, Meg White, nice, drummer for the White Stripes, cool. So if you get to the point where like play around with Pixlr and you're feeling like maybe it's not enough for you, whatever, yeah, check into mm, cool. Yeah, right on. Right on. Yeah, just mess around with it. And if you know you get to a point where you feel like maybe Pixlr, I've there you go. Yeah. Thanks, Fair. I couldn't remember what the acronym stood for. Yeah, but that's another good option right there, Gothic. Thanks, Fair. Appreciate it, buddy. So if you get to a point where you feel like maybe Pixlr is not enough, you're trying to get some other things done that Pixlr is not able to do for you. Because once you get to the side of maybe trying to do like animated stuff, Pixlr will be pretty limited. If you're trying to do like any kind of animation in the images and stuff like that, that's where it really starts getting pretty shallow. That kind of thing gets pretty rough. So you start getting into that, you might want to start looking into something else like GIMP. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Ferret. Thanks, buddy. Let's look up this. Yeah, sure. I mean, this is what I'll say. I think that the important thing with a Twitch name is that you're comfortable with it. I mean, if you look at some of the popular streamers out there, yeah, I think that that is probably, I mean, that's something that is, for me, I recommend nobody use their real name. But that's because of the kind of person I am and the way that I mean, I'm an IT person by trade. And so the less easy you can make it on people to know personal information about yourself, in my opinion, the better, right? Because you're already putting yourself out there to the world. Yeah. And unfortunately, there are just people out there that are always going to try to take advantage of that fact. They're just, you know, perpetrators everywhere looking to get a hold of people's information and use it to their advantage and take advantage of you. And so if you're trying to you know, protect yourself, I mean, my advice is to just always make it as hard as possible on other people to not be able to get a hold of that information. That's just a standard I live by. But a big part of that comes because I'm an IT guy by trade. But a lot of these other people that are part of this community are also IT people by trade, and they'll tell you the same thing. That's the best thing you can do. It doesn't mean that it's never going to happen because, you know, people, the more popular you become, yeah, no, that's smart. That's smart. That's what you should be doing. The more popular you potentially become, the more people are going to be interested in finding out who you actually are. The more they're going to start trying to data mine information about you, and it'll probably eventually happen. It happens to most very popular streamers, you know. But this is what I'll also say about your name. The big thing is that it's a name that your moniker, or you know, it's something that you're comfortable with. Because if you go look at a lot of the most popular streamers on Twitch, and you look at their names, if you didn't know any better, it'd be like, what does that even mean? You know, like XQC. And it's like, what is that? You know, or I mean, there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them out there that it's just like, you know, but it's more about it's not necessarily your name that's going to be bringing people in, right? That's not what I would worry about as much. What I would say is like, you know, having a name that you think is solid and appeals to you and you think will appeal to your audience and everything is cool and maybe stands out a little bit. Is definitely not going to hurt anything, but it's not a necessity. I wouldn't say. You know, I don't think it's a necessity. There are a lot of popular streamers out there that have names that literally, if you didn't know any better and you just saw their names for the first time, you go, what does that even mean? You know, so I think the name's cool, but really it's more about you being cool with it. I think, in my opinion, anyways. That's my take on that side of it. All right, man. Here we go. We'll just hit on this real quick. Yo, Ferret, thanks again, dude, for reminding me that GDQ was finished. According to Games Done Quick's official website, AGDQ 2023 featured 150 speedruns and raised a total of over $2.6 million. Nice. We'll read that entire article. That's cool, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I love GDQ, dude. I've loved GDQ for a long time, man. That's a great organization. Look, we've got like 2 days until the summer showcases start popping off, and we're gonna talk about the schedule for here in the channel and everything at the end of the news segment. Okay, end of the news segment, we'll talk about the schedule. I've got a kind of a wonky schedule this week because I have family that came in to visit from a long ways away, and so today and tomorrow I'm only going to stream until about lunchtime, and then I'm going to call it so I can spend time with my family that has come in to visit. It's a long trip, and I want to spend some time with them. Wednesday will be a day off, like I've stated will be for the time being. We'll end up probably going back 7 days a week at some point in the future, but right now I need to have that extra day off. So Wednesday will be that day off. Guerrilla Collective pops off on Wednesday. That's the first showcase of the whole June showcase gaming publisher developer showcase series. Guerrilla Collective pops off on Wednesday. I wasn't planning on being live, so what we might do is not watch it live and watch it on Thursday as a VOD before we watch the live showcases. There's like 3 more live showcases that start at like 2 o'clock my time, stream time, on Thursday. So we might watch the Guerrilla Collective VOD on Thursday before we watch all those other VODs. Wednesday or Thursday's going to be a bit weird too, though. I'm going to wake up and do the news, and then I'm probably going to shut the stream back down and not do gaming content that day. And then we'll watch all those showcases that entire afternoon into the evening that day, okay? One second. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. You know me, man. I'm there aren't a lot of organizations that I'm real apt to promote or anything either, you know. But GDQ is definitely one of those that I've always tried to get people involved in and aware of for sure. GDQ is amazing, man. So we'll talk about the schedule more because so my family is going to be leaving on Thursday. So I think that's what I'll do is I'll probably wake up and do the news. Then we'll call it there for no gaming content, and then I'll come back later that day, and we'll watch all the showcases that day together, and then Friday we'll be back to normal. Okay, so it's going to be a weird week, but we'll still be able to watch like the showcases together and stuff for the most part. The only one we'll really miss watching live, I think, will be Gorilla. So, but we'll watch it as a VOD the very next day. We talked about that. Man, that's heavy right now. Yo, I don't. If they don't deserve it, I don't. Why do you stay loyal to the same games decades later? I'm not playing Diablo 4. You know what I mean? So don't try to put me in that box, Games Hub. Hmm. Oh, D2 Destiny, not D2 Destiny 2 adds new Prime Gaming and Marathon for EB. Marathon? How are they already adding Marathon freebies? What? Yo, I'm actually pretty interested in this game, by the way. I'm really excited to see what Bungie's doing with this game. I like Bungie, dude. I like Bungie. I think they're a good dev, and I'm excited to see what they're doing with Marathon. I agree, Ferret. I agree, and not just on the gaming front. You know, not just with their software. I think that they're actually a pretty stand-up organization, dude. That's one of the things that really draws me to Bungie. It's not just the fact that I think they do a great job on the front of their software too. I think they do a pretty solid job. I know not everybody was stoked about the content of their latest, expansion for Destiny, but overall, I think they're a really good developer. But I think that they are a stand-up organization as a developer as well, And the things that from fighting for their company on the front of making sure that their communities around their software stay healthy, in the fact of trying to eliminate cheating and hacking, to the extent of also fighting for the just the civil rights and stuff of you know their employees and everything, I think is amazing, dude. And it's one of the things that they're very outspoken about the things that they think are even on the political side of things, that they feel are needed for their employees and stuff. Like whenever all the Roe versus Wade stuff was going on, they're like, well, if we need to take care of our employees and pay for them to go somewhere else to have care and stuff, we'll do that. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, there's been all kinds of stuff that I've found out and been educated on about what Bungie does as a company that I mean, I'll tell you, I don't even play any of their games right now, but they'd be one of my top development companies, dude, because I think they produce good content, because I also think they're just a stand-up company, dude. I absolutely agree. Yep. It'd be interesting to be able to talk to some of the devs within the company, the employees and stuff, and see how they feel. Like see what survey ratings are and stuff. I bet the quality of life overall is consensus pretty high. I would bet on that. I could be wrong, but I would bet on that. Diablo 4 review scores, grinding, levels, and demons. Tomorrow is the official release. People have already been playing it for roughly 4 to 5 days now with early access, but we'll take a quick peek at this. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, one of the biggest deals about it. Let's touch on this. One of the biggest deals about D4 is not that it's D4. One of the biggest things happening for this title right now is that it's actually a AAA game that released and performs. I mean, let's be real here, you know. And the absolutely terrible past basically year we've had with AAA releases, having AAA games released that actually play pretty well and have decent content is a surprise anymore, unfortunately. No matter what the game is. What will the next Zelda game be? I know. I know. I know what it should be. I know what it should. I know what it should be. I know what it should be. Ganondorf's revenge. Oh, dude, where you take all those fools down. Let's go. Oh, dude, I'm gonna keep trying to promote that, dude. Oh, Jesus. I know you are, dude. I knew you knew what I was gonna be coming up with, dude. I knew it. That's so funny, bro. That's so funny. Oh man. Ganondorf's revenge, dude. It's gonna be so good. They gotta give it to us, dude. Oh, that's flipping hilarious, dude. Oh, Jesus. That's hilarious. Oh, man. All right. That was a good chuckle, dude. Good chuckle. God dang, dude. I am so flipping grossed out and scared of play to earn. Yeah. Again, I think what it needs to be is like the whole narrative has to be turned around. You have to be able to see it through Ganon's eyes. And it needs to be something that people wouldn't realize. You know what I mean? Something that people don't normally look at it like. Like I've been like whenever I was playing Breath of the Wild and I was like, yo, we're just, you know, Ganon's just mad because everybody came in and like took his land or whatever. You know, it needs to be played off like that. Like you know, because we've been playing these games for so long as the good guys, right? So this narrative has been portrayed for so long of Ganon just being this evil entity that's always trying to rule the land and spread his evilness throughout and stuff like that, and rule with the Triforce. And you know, it's like um, you've got to take this narrative in a different direction, right? And spin it into something that people wouldn't be ready for, and wouldn't have thought of, or something like that. You know, to where you're trying to pull people into actually believing that it could actually have been that way, you know? Yo, Blue, what's up, friendo? Yo, it's good to see you again, man. What's going on? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying if they were gonna like like I don't even want to know about Tears of the Kingdom yet because I haven't played it yet, but and I will, right? So I don't really want to know yet, but I just mean like it has to be turned into a view where he can be portrayed as his actions are justified, you know? Oh man, we're just going through video gaming news right now, buddy. What's up? Happy Monday. What's going on, man? Trying to find out what's going on in the industry right now. No, I don't think so, Ferret. I actually would disagree with that, dude. I would disagree with that. I don't think it would have to be a parody. No, no. Because again, I think that the entire time you're playing those games, you're seeing everything from like Link's point of view and all these other people's point of view, right? You don't ever get to actually like turn it around and see everything from Ganon's point of view. That's what they would need to do, right? It could be done very well as a parody, but it wouldn't have to be. I don't think so. I know what you're saying. It could be a good parody. Yeah, it could be a good parody. Yeah, for sure. I don't think it would have to be though. It won't ever happen anyways. It won't ever happen anyways. But, you know, I could see it if somebody was a good enough writer, you know? No, Nintendo will never do it, dude. No way. As much as I'll ask for it forever, they'll never do it. If that's what it would take though. It would take a very, very good writer. It would take a very, very good writer to be able to do what I'm talking about and have it not be a parody. That's what it would take. It would take a very good writer to get that done. It wouldn't be easy. I'm not saying that. uh, again, look, we're going to talk about all the showcases at the end of the news segment, okay, guys? Because we're going to watch almost all of them live here in the channel. I've got a schedule up and everything. I'll show you. Yeah, yeah, and that, I mean that's one of the things that like you know, dude, I've been away from the Legend of Zelda except for Breath of the Wild for such a very long time. You know, I am definitely not the one that would be able to like convey that turnaround or anything. You know, or seeing that other side of things for sure. I think somebody would be able to get it done, but it wouldn't be easy. Doing a parody of it, I think would be hilarious though. I think that'd be hilarious. Blue, what you got going on today, friendo? There's not a whole lot of news today, guys. It's pretty bleak, man. Hogwarts Legacy is free to check out for a limited time right now. I'll pull that up in case anybody wants to take a look at it. Disgusting. We've talked about that. NFTs, bleh. Just summer break, baby. You just living it up? Yeah? What all games are you playing right now, Blue? What are you diving into? Yeah, baby. Summer break, dude. I love summer break, man, whenever I was in school. God dang, dude. That's what I've got 2 kids. They're on summer break right now, man. And they are just digging it. They're digging it hard, man. It's video games every day. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. Oh, did you? Oh, sick. Yo, Blue, was it you yesterday that was talking about playing some Destiny 2? Potentially, like was it you that was talking about having a friend that was wanting you to start trying out some Destiny 2? No, it might have been Slick Magic then. I couldn't remember if it was you or Slick. I think it was Slick then. Okay. Okay. Oh, I think you told me that, Ferret. Yeah, yeah, yeah. First run and got the exotic. Yo, that's dope, dude. Nice. GG's. Yeah, yo, if you guys didn't hear about this, so Aspire is the studio that was supposed to be remastering the DLC for Coder 2, Knights of the Old Republic 2 for Switch. They finally shut it down. And everybody that already had like purchased it or whatever is getting a free key to a bunch of other games and stuff. We took a look at it. Yes, it's in yesterday's news segment if you want to take a look at it on YouTube. But here's what's concerning. Aspire's the studio that's supposed to be remaking Knights of the Old Republic also. Like remake. And they hit a really big snag in that with a bunch of people getting fired because the game was not panning out the way Sony and Embracer wanted. So it looks like there's some pretty bad stuff going on in maybe the studio, Aspire Studio right now. So that's kind of concerning, man. Grounded, Maneater. Oh, dude, I know Maneater. Yeah, I haven't played it. Oh, you just 100%ed Watch Dogs? Yo, GG's, dude. That's awesome. Sick. Yeah, that's sick, man. Oh, yo, that's sick, Ferret. Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, that's awesome, Blue. Nice, man. Sick. So I don't know. I'm gonna just link this for you guys real quick. If anybody was in the boat of supposed to be getting the remastered version of Coder 2's DLC for Knights of the Old Republic 2's DLC for Switch, you're not getting that anymore. But you can get a redemption for a different Steam key from Aspire. So you might need to look at that link right there. We touched on it yesterday, so I'm not gonna dive into that again. Stardew Valley 1.6 update could include a feature that we weren't prepared for, maybe. Let's take a look at that. This is mainly just supposed to be some additional mod features, which is good, but apparently maybe it's got more to it than we thought it was going to in the first place, so we'll take a look. New D4 patch notes make barbarians worse at yelling. 100% very few games. I'm not oh, for real, dude? Oh, wild. Okay. Nice, Ferret. Nice. Okay. Did he say when? And yo, can we get an inside track, dude? Can we get an inside track to Terraria? What's going on here, man? Huh? Yo, yeah, I don't necessarily 100% most of my games either. What I do is so Blue, I'm not a 100%er either. There are a lot of people out there that are. What I do is I spend a good amount of time in my games getting a really good sense of completion, and then I move on. I don't. So I'll give you a prime example. Stuff you couldn't mention, of course. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I figured that would be the case. I'll give you a perfect example. Like playing a game, I played Witcher 3 base game and both Blood and Wine and Heart of Stone DLC last year, right? It's a very long playthrough. And if you wanted to 100% that game, you're literally going to have to cross all the maps in that game and uncover every single there are these little like question marks all over the map, and it would be just a trudge because there's nothing unique about most of them. It's just like, oh, there's another monster nest. Oh, there's another like bandit camp or something like that, you know? And yeah, Terraria is a good game. It is. Uh Ferret here has an insane amount of time in Terraria. Um so for me, it's like there comes a point where now, whenever I play a game, I do play a game. I don't rush through games. I always do like all the main questing, all the side questing. I get a really good sense of completion out of my games. But I'm also not going to just trudge through a bunch of monotonous crap just to 100% it. You know what I mean? I don't care that much about 100%ing a game to just spend what feels like to me repetitive time in a game. So that's why I won't normally 100% a game. Because there ends up being a lot of that in most games if you want to 100% them, you know? Chill out. Just personally for me, that's the way I feel. So usually what I'll do is I'll get about, you know, somewhere between 70 to 80% of the achievements just in a normal playthrough, and then I'll just be good, dude. It does I don't feel that need to 100 it, you know. Chill out, bro. Yeah. Yeah, Ferret loves some of that Terraria, dude. Oh, D4. I've heard it's good, man. Oh, for real? For real, Blue? Yeah, me too. We've got an article up, and I'll pull up some. So Metacritic's already got professional reviews up. It's been hitting between like an roughly like an 87 on Metacritic. We knew it was going to be pretty good from the betas and everything, which is great. I'm glad. I'm glad. But like I've said before, man, I mean, and this is, the personal thing for me is like, I just had seen too much over too many years from Blizzard that just made me want to throw up, man. And I finally got to the point where I was like, I can't play their stuff anymore, dude. And maybe this is the start of seeing better. You know what I mean? Maybe this is the start of seeing better. And if that's the case, then, as I continue to see them do better and better, then I'll consider playing their games again. But right now, dude, I just can't do it. And it hurts, dude, because my two, like Diablo 2 is my second favorite game of all time, and Diablo 1 is my third favorite game of all time. It flipping hurts to not play. This is the first Diablo game that I will ever have played besides Immortal, because again, let me just grab a throw up bucket real quick. There's no way I would have played that game. But true Diablo games, this is the first one I've never played on release, man. So it hurts, man. It really does. It really does. Don't have a phone? What, you don't have a phone, bro? I know, right? I knew that was coming, dude. We already talked about this. It's going to be Ganondorf's Revenge, which is going to be dope. Very, bro. Oh, geez. We've talked a lot about physical versus digital games and stuff, dude. We're in a weird spot right now in the industry. Obviously, PC transitioned for a while already into the digital space, but if I think if console wants to continue doing physical games, they've got to switch over to a different media type, dude, a different medium. The optical stuff's not going to do it anymore. Games are too big. It's just not going to work, dude. But we've already seen like certain games are already coming out now where they're going, developers are just going, we're not going to be releasing, developers and publishers are like, we're not going to be releasing physical copies anymore. Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2, they're like, yo, no physical copies from us. It's just not happening. Digital games with Nintendo. Yo, oh God, dude. You're trying to get me into a rant. Stop it. Stop it. The new Steam beta UI eats a full 1 gig of RAM, dude. What? We've already looked at the Minecraft update for Trails and Tales. I'm not going to dive into that. Let's go one more page. It's a bit bleak this morning on the news, man. It's kind of wild. Dude, these gaming news, they're so hard to read. They're translated very, very bad into English. Yeah. We'll just stick with this, dude. We'll stick with this. All right. Wait, what? Watching streamer who was kicking out. Wait, what? Yeah, me get you ranting. I know. Absurd, right, Ferret? Blue, wait, what? Dude, I'm not gathering exactly what you're talking about. You were watching a streamer. I think there might have been some like maybe autocorrects in there or something that really jacked up how that got conveyed there. But I'm interested. It sounds wild. Destiny 2 adds new Prime Gaming and Marathon freebies. As one of the biggest live service games, Destiny 2 is constantly adding new content to the game and partnering with various places to bring crossover promotions to players. In the latest this week at Bungie, the developers highlighted several new things coming to Destiny 2, including a new selection of Prime Gaming gear and a crossover with Bungie's newly announced Marathon reboot. On top of that, yeah, okay. On top of that, there are some new real-world items that will soon be available to anyone who's able to complete the Ghosts of Deep Dungeon before August 22nd. Ferret. New real-world items if you complete the Ghost of the Deep Dungeon before August 22nd, dude. Already done? Let's go, bro. All right. I kind of figured you might have. Bungie's announcement of an extraction-based marathon reboot was one of the surprises of the recent PlayStation showcase. Yeah, it looked like it might be interesting. Now, the developer is bringing a small part of that game over to Destiny 2 in the form of a new emblem. It's available free of charge right now. All you need to do is redeem the code shared in the tweet below on Destiny 2's official site. As far as Prime Gaming rewards are concerned, the team is bringing 4 new cosmetics to the game with a new emote, ghost shell, sparrow skin, and deep ghost projection. If you're subscribed to Prime Gaming, all you need to do is link your accounts and then claim the rewards. The rewards aren't all digital, though. Arguably, the best part of the TWAB update is a reveal of the new real-life rewards players can claim if they beat the Ghost of the Deep Dungeon before August 22nd. The best part of this drop is a clean-looking hoodie that'll run you $55 on the Bungie store. In addition, really, dude, you get a hoodie? Yo, Kayla, what's up? What's going on? That was where you got the exotic? Okay. How would a streamer even know if people weren't white, dude? That's super racist. What the crap, dude? That's terrible. So people were just like, dude, that's gross. Yeah. God dang, dude. What is wrong with people, man? So here's my first thing. Anybody that's actually going to ask people in chat what their skin color is automatically just a big warning light for me. That's just terrible because people shouldn't be looking at each other as a color anyways. That's just gross and terrible. Yeah. No, that person shouldn't even be allowed on any kind of, live streaming platform or social media or anything like that. It's just such a terrible way to address being a human. That's a subhuman thing to do. It's just disgusting. Unfortunately, I'm not even surprised. Look, I mean, we talk a lot about the fact, I'll continue reading this article. We talk a lot about the fact that, unfortunately, we live in a gross world, man. People are very, there's a lot of biases and discrimination and persecution and for just the most asinine reasons, whether it be sexual orientation or preference or skin color or just ethnicity or religion or what have you, dude. And people just can't let each other live their best life because people are so scared of people that are different than them. You know, and don't get me wrong, if people are bad people, then they suck. But just because somebody's different than you doesn't make them a bad person. Now, what I will say is you're kind of treading into the realm of being a bad person if you're judging people for being different than you. You know what I mean? That sucks. And that's putting you on the track to being a bad person yourself, in my opinion. So, yo, Mithril, what's up, dog? I don't know. The best I can do is just tell everybody, and the people that are regulars here know this, but our community here is all about creating a safe, welcoming, inclusive spot for everybody, as long as you are just trying your best to be a good person from one day to the next. That's all that really matters to me. And we have so many amazing people that help to reinforce that standard here in this community. And I can't, say thanks enough to all of our community members that continue to, reinforce that notion and create a cool spot for all of us to be a part of. So it's just terrible to hear things like that coming out of these other places. It's really gross. I don't know. Blue, yeah, that's gross. I'm really sorry that you had to, see that and be a part of that. Mithril, what's up, man? How was your day today? Mithril lives in the future, by the way, guys. Mithril is our you might not believe me, but he literally runs around with a flux capacitor. He'd be just like... and he's always trying to feed us in on what's happening in the future. His toilets spin the other way. It's really wild. For the Destiny 2 stuff, you mentioned earlier, you get the option to purchase stuff from the Bungie store once you complete the dungeon. Yeah, word. Ferret, you like that? Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's cool, dude. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, dude. Got home from work an hour ago, 9 p.m. Started 5 a.m. Oh, bro. How's the hoverboards? Yeah, dude. Yeah. How are those hoverboards, Mithril? Yo, Mithril, that sounds like a long day. There you go, dude. This is Mithril right now. Check it. I got this, dude. This is Mithril right now. I got this, dude. Hold on. This is so good, dude. By the way, if you can't see those right now, there you go. It's probably because you need to take a look at that. So the rewards aren't all digital. Arguably the best part of the TWA beta update. I already read this paragraph, but I'm going to read it again. The reveal of the new real-life rewards players can claim if they beat the Ghosts of the Deep dungeon before August 22nd. Best part of this drop is a clean-looking hoodie that will run you $55 on the Bungie store. In addition, there are 3 pins you can pick up for completing several achievements related to the dungeon. If you want everything, you're going to have to run up quite a bit of time in Destiny 2 and then spend over $100 to get all the physical goods. Finally, Bungie is running its usual June charity event for the It Gets Better project. Anyone can donate $10 to the organization and earn the Infinite Prismatic Emblem while helping out a good cause. Oh, that's cool. All in all, it's a nice collection of optional rewards that serve as a complement to all of the in-game additions we've gotten in recent weeks, like the new dungeon and fishing. How is all the fishing? Is it still dope, dude? I forgot they did that. Here, if you guys need more, I'll link it for you. All right, Mithril. Yeah, dude, that works. Yeah, so we used to have basically a whole bunch of better Twitch TV, and then we kind of switched over to where most of it now is like 7 TV emotes. But 7 TV emotes are a lot of fun. So that link that I put for exclamation point emotes, it's there to kind of try and help you understand why, if like I'm or myself or anybody else in chat is putting things into chat and it's showing up like on the overlay chat as an emote, but for you it just shows up as text. It's because you don't have the extension or the plugin installed, right, for 7TV. And if you install the extension or the plugin, then you'll actually be able to use those emotes too. But that's it. Yeah, so 7TV I think actually runs through better Twitch TV, Mithril. So it's not that hard to get 7TV set up as well if you wanted to. Yeah, and that's what most of our emotes are anymore. But 7TV just that's why, like, if you saw that link up above, it's got the 7TV with it right there, and it's just I think it just kind of runs through that. It's been a while. I would need to go take a look, but I think you can just kind of run it through that and everything too, but I can't remember exactly. It might depend on what browser you're using or if it's the app or what have you. I can't remember. I might need to update that command too to go back and take a look. Yeah. I might need to take a look. I might need to update that. The fishing is just fishing. Gets interrupted by public events. Sucks, dude. That sucks. All right, let's keep going. There's the Destiny 2 stuff. Diablo 4 review scores, grinding levels, and demons. Lilith is spicy, dude. Lilith is spicy. Hello? Yo, 1 second. 1 second. All right, I think we're all good. I think we're good. I just heard something. I just wanted to make sure everything was cool. The long-awaited D4 gives its players the fun and satisfaction that only a Diablo game can, and more. Here's what critics have to say about Diablo 4, including their review scores. Yeah. It's like I said, I had seen roughly like 87. We'll pull Metacritic up in a second. We've already seen this too, but I'll link it for you guys to take a look at it if you want. D4 is the latest installment of the Diablo franchise. Sees its return to PC and consoles. It's available on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. Metacritic aggregated reviews for all the major platforms that the game came out in. As of this article, the PC version of the game has 50 reviews, PS5 has 15, Series X has 11, and out of the 76 total reviews so far, only 4 of them were mixed, with the rest being positive. Let's take a deeper look. Dude, this is okay. So anytime I look at review scores again, I'm going to take, like, first of all, I've never ever played a game that was perfect. Ever. So any game that gets 100 or a 10 out of 10 or whatever, I disregard that. I don't believe in that. I've never ever played a game that was absolutely perfect. Tic-tac-toe is perfect. Yeah, Kayla. Most people that I've talked to have really been enjoying it, and I'm glad. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. Yeah, I'm glad. Look, I mean, I think the thing that's crazy is, like, yeah, fair. Yeah, I'd say Uno. Uno is a perfect game. Pong, groundbreaking, but not perfect. So here's the deal. I totally disregard, like, all those perfect reviews, and then I take out all those, like, really, really bad reviews too, and I look at the meat. I look at the meat in the middle. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. But I mean, still nowadays, I mean, even my games that are like my favorite games of all time and stuff, they weren't perfect. You know what I mean? And I know that I'm kind of I guess a bit of a cynic, and you know, I'm pretty critical of games and stuff, you know, but I don't believe that people should just be throwing out perfect scores to games when I've never played a game that didn't have something that could be better. Something that was maybe overlooked. I've never played it, you know, like games that didn't have a few bugs here and there and stuff. And that's not perfect, dude. That's not a perfect game. And so it's weird to me to see people just throw these perfect scores around like just willing, and you see it all the time, dude. Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking to Pinky yesterday. I was like, dude, do you have any want to play D4 at all? And he's like, no, I never played any of the Diablo games, and I have no want to really. And I was like, cool, I respect that. And again, this is what I was saying earlier. I'm. This is like a perfect storm for Diablo 4, really. The past year has been really, really brutal in the AAA front, right? So the past year has been so bad, dude, on the AAA front for games. Where it's like a surprise when a AAA game releases that performs well on release and has good content. And so I feel like they're getting rated higher across the board, whether it be professional reviews or user reviews, a little bit higher than maybe they even normally would right now, because these good AAA games are so few and far between, man. And to be fair, Diablo is a game that has had hype forever and ever and ever. Diablo 3 was kind of trash, though, man. I did not like Diablo 3, and that was the beginning of my kind of look at Blizzard and going, this is not the company I once loved, and you guys know how I feel about that. And that's why I don't play Blizzard games right now, is that was the beginning of it. There's a lot of other things that have come into play since then that have made me not want to play their games. But I'm glad their game is doing well. I never want a game to be bad, ever, 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 dude. I want the industry to be healthy. I want games to be good. I find it to be absolutely terrible and off-putting whenever these companies continue to push out games that are just nightmare releases. There's no way that should be happening, and it just continues. It just continues to happen, right? And for me, it's like, this is potentially the start of seeing Blizzard be better. Hopefully. Because I would love to play their games again. I would love to go back and be able to play D4 at some point. Whenever I'm more comfortable playing their games again and supporting them as a company again. So I've had a lot of people that are like, yeah, it's great. The game feels really good. It's a take back to more like D1 and what D2 were. And dude, I'm so happy about that. It seems like people are liking it a lot, but I do feel like it's probably rating a little bit higher just off the fact that it's so hard to find good AAA games anymore, man. I feel like that has to play into this a little bit. But again, it's weird to me for people to just perfect score it. It's just perfect. Cool, man. If you think it's like a 90 or a 95 or whatever, cool. But you like perfect? I don't see it. I've never found a perfect game ever, dude. And it's just, that's why I can't even look at these. Like, I don't see it, dude. But yeah, overall, this game has been rating like high 80s to low 90s, and that's great, man. That's great. I'll actually pull up Metacritic real quick. Ultimately, is Diablo 4 worth it? Judging from the various positive critic reviews and scores, I would say that Diablo 4 is very much worth it. Various reviews praise the game's classes and customization, something that a lot of players love when playing role-playing games. They also praise the game's graphics, music, and overall gameplay. Of course, a common consensus seems to be that the internet connectivity requirement is a pain. There's always that, like, games that have that requirement, there's always an amount of the gaming community that turns off, but this is one of those games that tends to need that, as well as the various bugs that still need fixing. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've already read that there are bugs in the game, so how do you just call the game perfect? No, that's why I'm saying I don't ever see any game as being perfect, because I've never seen a game that didn't have some issues here and there. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it's not perfect. 100 out of 100 means the game's perfect, flawless. Nothing could be better. And it's not, dude. Some of them also mentioned the game's story was a bit lackluster, while others said it was really good. The good sides of the game are enough to make up for its bad sides. As mentioned above, if you are not a big fan of isometric games, role-playing games, or isometric role-playing games, Diablo 4 is still a must-try. That is all for our look at D4, reviews of critics as well as their scores. Let me pull up Metacritic for it real quick. You can see on PC. So the game doesn't release officially for another 16 hours, right? And then here on Metacritic, they won't let user reviews pop off for another day after that. So we've got over another day and a half before user reviews will even pop off, but they'll be high as well. Consensus is like, even our community here has like basically informed me the game's been very good. Tinwin came in yesterday and was talking about how it's been a pretty great experience so far. Even people that were playing the beta and everything, seemed to really enjoy it, which, I assumed that on full release it was going to be pretty well reviewed, and so far it seems really good, man. 87 Metascore on PC, PS5 87, Series X 92. It's pretty solid, dude. Those are high scores. This is usually the way I look at the Metacritic. What I'll usually try to do too is like I'll take the Metascore from the critic reviews and I'll kind of average those between what the user review scores are too. And anything that's like in the 70s is probably going to be pretty enjoyable, pretty entertaining. It's not going to blow you away. Anything in the 80s is probably going to be pretty solid. Might even have some stuff in there that's like pretty even game changing potentially, and anything in the 90s, like high 80s to 90s, we're talking about like games that will be historic probably. You know what I mean? That's usually the way I look at these ratings. If you're below a 70, it's actually probably going to be a subpar play. Anything below that's going to be a bit pretty cringy, Yep, we've already read articles about that, Mithril. We read an article about that yesterday or the day before in the news. Yeah, that's one of the things I was getting ready to bring up. Yo, Psycho, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Psycho's been playing D4. Well, been trying. He's been working his butt off, but so yeah, we that's one of those things. And look, man, I talked about this. So whether you're talking about any of these dungeon crawling games like Diablo, Path of Exile, whatever, the hardcore races are always gnarly to watch. They're brutal to play too. And I've done hardcore runs, dude, on Path of Exile, and it's really, 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 really tilting, dude, when something like this happens. Because what'll happen is like just like what you're talking about. We read two reports of two of the top leveled, because it's a race to 100, right? And two of the top leveled characters at one point were like 18 to 20 hours into the game already in D4, and they both had bugs that killed them off, and there's nothing they could do about it. And that's just like 18 to 20 hours lost, dude. Metacritic, the Rotten Tomatoes of gaming, kind of. And yeah, it's a bit weird like that too, Blue. So most of the time, the Metascore is pretty on point, but sometimes it's not. You can't read into it too much too. It just depends. That's why it's nice that they give you the critic reviews along with the user reviews. But critic reviews are able to pop off first, and then like a day after the game full releases, that's when user reviews will start popping in too. And that's why I usually try to average those out instead of just going off of the critic reviews for the game. You know what I mean? You're at work right now, Psycho. Word. So this is one of the things that there's always been in these types of games, and like Path of Exile, there's always been this like controversy around what's called auto log off. So auto log off is basically a macro. a macro that will basically pull up the logout menu and auto click the logout. Yeah. Um, and one of the reasons it's become a thing is because of these kinds of situations in these games where you can get into situations where the game bugs out. And what's unfortunate is that your character still, for a bit of time, even after you log out, your character still persists in the game, right? So even if you're logged out, your character's still in that situation for a little bit, even though it doesn't look like it. So um, even though you're logged out, sometimes you'll still go log back into the game and that character's dead. And that's what's happened to some of these D4 players, right? So it's something that's been contested for a while throughout these kinds of games because a lot of people will use it for like, oh, you get yourself into a bad situation that seems a bit too sketchy, and you just auto log off and just bounce out. So it's not really something that is always used to deal with bugs or you know, things like that, but more to get yourself out of real dangerous situations too. And so these hardcore runs, there are different ways for different people to think about it. They have their different viewpoints on it and stuff, you know. Oh no way. Yeah, what it's often you do is you'll set it up as like um what's the key below your escape key, you know, you'll set it up as like a macro. So because you know you're on keyboard, it's real easy to reach up by your one key and just hit that and it'll just log you out, you know what I mean? The tilt, there you go. Thanks guys. Yeah, the tilt. Not enough coffee this morning, man. But that's where a lot of people will put that auto log out on. Yeah, nerds. We all are, dude. Thanks guys. But it feels bad, dude. It feels bad whenever you put that much time into a run and then you get wrecked by some kind of bug, you know. So I think that just goes to show you right there that like the game's not perfect. It's got its issues. It's very good. It plays very well. It's not riddled with performance issues or bugs or anything, but no game is perfect, dude, ever. And that's why I just have such an issue of games coming out and being rated like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. But if you guys want to see more off of the Metacritic site, here you go. Oh, we're there are way more than two nerds in this community, baby. Hogwarts Legacy free download leaves fans seriously annoyed. This there's a oh yo hey Kayla, are you still hanging? Kayla. Are you still hanging, Kayla? Count me in. Yeah, Blue. Yeah, yeah. Live with my friends and people I know that play the game. I'll join their community and figure out the overall and just play to find out my own. Yeah, Psycho. Yeah. Kayla, I tagged you in Discord by the way yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. I felt bad we didn't get to that. I meant to read that Hogwarts Legacy stuff, the patch notes yesterday, before you had to bounce out to get back to work, and I forgot. But I tagged you in our Discord, and I put the article in there if you're interested in it. Okay. Well, yeah, that's what I just talked about too, Psycho. I mean, and unfortunately, the industry, the way the industry is going right now, it's the rarity, right? And I think that's one of the reasons that the game is reviewing probably even a little bit better than it normally would because there aren't hardly very many AAA releases right now that are decent on release. Most AAA games release and they're a mess. So the fact that D4 released and it feels pretty good, the content's pretty solid, it performs pretty well, I think actually makes people probably review it even better than they normally would just because it's like so rare for that to happen right now. Ooh, dude, Jedi Survivor, what a hot mess, dude. God. Yeah, I know, Ferret. Yeah, I've got an article out up actually. on YouTube. It was cut out of the news segment where we talked about like how sad it is to have to focus on, you know, it's the surprise that a game's good on release, right? Instead of going, oh wow, that's a bad game. It's the opposite. It's, oh wow, we got a good game. You know, that's where we get surprised. It's terrible, dude. There's a very good chance you've overheard people talking about a little game called Hogwarts Legacy at some point this year, which was also a terrible release on PC. The recently released Harry Potter RPG looks all set to be the biggest video game of 2023, having comfortably sold a gazillion copies in its first 10 minutes. I don't think that's legit there, but you might well be asking yourself, do I care enough to check the game out and actually play it? Video games are expensive these days, and we can't all be blowing our hard-earned cash on stinkers. The good news is that PlayStation users can get a feel for Hogwarts Legacy now via a free trial period, although this does come with some substantial caveats. As pointed out over on the PlayStation Plus subreddit, Hogwarts Legacy has been added to the service's game trials feature. For those who might not be aware, game trials are available for PlayStation Plus premium subscribers, effectively giving them the chance to go hands-on with certain releases before they commit to buying them. Is that something everyone should have access to? Probably, yeah, but here we are. Anyways, Hogwarts Legacy has now been added to this scheme. Unfortunately, everyone seems to agree that it's not really worth it, which is really saying something for a free download. While all the times demos available for, via PS Plus Premium are fairly short, users have bristled at the idea of having just 45 minutes to make your mind up on Hogwarts Legacy. That is very short. That just barely covers the opening sequence, yeah. Unless you absolutely blast your way through it. I'm not even sure you'll make it to Hogwarts in that time, yeah. So if you're really keen to try out Hogwarts Legacy and have a PS Plus Premium subscription in your back pocket, might as well give it a quick blast. Yeah, that's a bit rough. You really want, like, if you really want to give people like a try of a game, usually it's like 2 to 3 hours, Because it's Gazillion? Yeah. I don't think it's sold a gazillion. Let's actually look that up real quick. Currently, this was May 5th, dude. So this was a month ago now. 15 million copies. It's probably somewhere around 16 to 17 at this point, I would say. That was a month ago. Yep. So, a gazillion was maybe a little bit high. Give them the weekend. Well, this is something else we have talked about. One second. This is one of the other things we've talked about. Yo, no, fair. You're fine, dude. Yo, I mean, I'm not even gonna make anybody do anything. I just, I get people sometimes that go, yo, all I'm seeing is text. I don't see emotes, and that's why I'm like, well, it's because you don't have the extension added in or anything. You know what I mean? There you go, Psycho. All right, dude. Yeah. So we've seen things happening more often with where trials are coming in, and I think it's actually a good thing. Like we've talked about previously, you know how demos went away for a long time, and now all of a sudden there's been this huge resurgence of demos again, right? And that's great. But we're also starting to see something else where like games are starting to get some actual limited trial gameplay stuff going on for certain titles, where on certain platforms you'll get like I was saying, like 2 to 3 hours of gameplay, where more than like what we're seeing here for Hogwarts Legacy. And I think that's important for certain titles. We talked recently about games like Guardians of the Galaxy and, weirdly enough, 2 Marvel games, but Guardians of the Galaxy and Midnight Suns, right? Both of these are games that reviewed very well, but they sold pretty poorly, right? And I think that these are the types of games that are really going to get benefited by giving people an extended trial of the game. Give them a weekend, maybe not a weekend, but give them like 4 to 5 hours to dive in and try that game. And that might entice people to actually buy those. You know what I mean? Because these are games that reviewed very well, but didn't sell very well, unfortunately. And those are the games that I think deserve some more playtime from people to get people in there and trying them out, and they deserve a little bit more revenue rather than these crap games that get released that people buy and can't play. So yeah, fair, yeah. A little of an understatement. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was being a bit sarcastic there, Blue. um, oh, okay, fair. Yeah, you're good, dude. You're good. Oh, we got them Thug Life glasses, baby. Um, so I think what's nice about that too is because we're starting to see this happen more often now. Obviously, 45 minutes is not enough time for most games, but while we're starting to see is more games not just do demos, but actually give substantial amounts of like playtime to try the game out. And I think that's really going to benefit games that deserve more recognition for being good releases and having good content, as opposed to, because you're not going to see games like Jedi Survivor. You're not going to see games like Gollum. You're not going to see Wolong. You're not going to see Wild Hearts. You're not going to see The Last of Us Part 1 from PC being given trials, you know what I mean, in the states they were released at, because they were terrible pieces of crap. You're not going to give people trials of that because they can't play the game anyways. You're going to see games that deserve that recognition. They deserve to have people try those games out because they're good content and they play well. And I think that's a good thing that we're starting to see in the industry personally. Stardew Valley 1.6 update could include this feature. Let's see what we got. Hey there, farm fanatics. All right. The trusty Scythe has always been left out of the Iridium upgrade club, but not for long with this news about Stardew Valley 1.6 update. Fans have been feeling a little frustrated. All right. Sorry. They couldn't get an Iridium Scythe. Scythe has forever remained an outcast in our Iridium collection, with only its standard or gold variant to boast. However, hold your horses because this might be changing soon. Last Wednesday, our favorite video game developer and creator of Stardew Valley, Eric Barone, also known as Concerned Ape, sent the community into a frenzy. His teasing tweet hinted at the possibility of the much-awaited Iridium Scythe finally making its debut. The Stardew Valley, or the Stardew community reacted with delight. Shouts of "finally all purple" could almost be heard across the virtual farming community, and who can blame us for this excitement? While Concerned Ape didn't confirm the Iridium Scythe in his cryptic tweet, we're picking up what he's putting down. The tweet might be hinting at the much-desired tool arriving in the highly anticipated Stardew Valley 1.6 update. In April, Barone announced that he'd started developing this update. Primarily, it's going to be support our tireless modding community with some new content thrown into the mix. However, Barone warned fans not to expect an update as sizable as the Colossal 1.5. Yeah, we kind of knew that. Sorry, guys. Interestingly, Barone is hitting the pause button on his... Hold on, one second. Sorry, I had to help with something real quick. Next update for Grounded. I can pull that up. Fusion. Yeah, I'll pull that up. Interestingly, Barone is hitting the pause button on his exciting project, Haunted Chocolatier, to focus on the Stardew Valley 1.6 update. We'd already read about that too. But as soon as the 1.6 is finished, he'll be back on Haunted Chocolatier, which is his next project, right? Which looks very Stardew Valley, but is going to be different. Yeah. From what we understood, like I don't need to read the rest of that really. I'll link it for you. I'll see if I can pull that up, Blue. Yeah. The majority of what this update is supposed to include is a lot more tools for modding the game from the mod community and everything, which is supposed to be highly anticipated. Not as much like content stuff necessarily, but just mod tools and everything, which would be good. It's linked there for you guys. Before I forget, let's see if we can find it. I'll probably just grab it off their site, I guess. Off of Obsidian. Never heard about Stardew Valley? Oh, for real? Yo, I've never played it, but let's look at this patch. This was from May. So do they have another one coming? Let's see if I can find something real quick. That's May 4th. Talking about a new boss. Do you have a link or anything? Or where did you see that at? Was that on their site? Is this it right here where they're talking about the... That's probably something I haven't seen yet. I'm going to end up getting spoiled. Oh, really? That's all the news right now. That's all old stuff. And this is the latest I have. We'll see what we can changes and bug fixes. This was just 1.24. You wouldn't be able to link anything, Blue. You can if you had something, you can either shoot it to a mod or you can DM me on Twitch and let me know. The only people that can link in chat are mods, myself, or VIPs. That's it. And that's just a measure that I take to keep the community safe. We've had people put malicious stuff in chat. I don't want people getting into malicious sites and stuff like that. So, yeah, spoilers. Okay. Yo, look at that. Yo, it's random mode time. I got Kipo, dude. Look at Ferret got Pixel Bob. Sick, dude. You're looking for Vislod. Random mode time. Try to get a free sub. Okay. Yeah, I probably won't want to watch it. But if you want to like link it in the Discord or something, then you could actually do that. You could put it in the Discord so people could take a look. I don't want to watch it because I'm playing Grounded right now and I don't want to be spoiled. So I don't want to watch it in the news. Yeah. But we could throw it in the Discord or something. Diablo 4 patch notes make barbarians worse at yelling. The latest D4 patch notes have landed, offering a raft of changes to the game ahead of its full release on June 6th. As with any action RPG in Diablo 4, the numbers do the talking. As much as the game's distinctive art style draws you in, players tend to stay for the character customization and build options. This latest update, 1.0.2D, releases on June 3rd. It released on June 3rd, excuse me, and judging from the Diablo 4 patch notes themselves, hasn't brought about many drastic changes to the makeup of the game's various classes. Rather, the latest patch seems intent on fine-tuning skills and abilities rather than offering a radical departure from what early access players are used to. Barbarians received the least number of changes, seeing the effectiveness of challenging shouts damage reduction reduced, as well as several tweaks to the class's legendary aspects. Necromancers, on the other hand, received more fine-tuning and additional debuffs to their basic damage abilities. Their minions are enjoying stat increases across the board. Golems, in particular, are getting a welcome buff, as is the humble skeleton warrior. Necromancer for the win, dude. I love Necromancers. In a blog post, Blizzard outlined the thinking behind the changes. Overall, we're quite happy with the performance of the other classes, of our classes, We know there are always room for improvement. Yeah, it'll be continual balancing and stuff in this game, just like most games like this. Our goal behind these changes is to create a better, balanced, and enjoyable experience across the board. Yeah. All right, I'll link it. Yo, I forgot to address what you were saying, Blue. Psycho, nice. So I haven't played Stardew either, but what Stardew Valley is basically a modern take of a game that I loved to play back when I was younger, called oh Jesus, guys help me. Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon. So there were Harvest Moon games back in the day, and basically what Stardew Valley has done is taken that same old school like art style, and then made the same type of game, but like modern and just way more fleshed out. And it's a very beloved game. I mean, I can show you like look at me. I can spin like a top. Yo, spin to win though, dude. Spin to win. So not Harvest Moon. Stardew. So Stardew Valley is, and again, one of the things that's awesome about this game, first and foremost, is this entire game has been developed by a single individual, an indie developer who goes by the developer name and publisher name of Concerned Ape. It's one person. And they've been creating this game over about the past 10 years. Basically, it released in 2016. Blade equals barbarian. Yeah, dude. Yeah. But you can see how well it's reviewed. This game is over 400 at all time on Steam alone. Over 480,000 reviews at 98% positive. That is insane. Insane. And it is, you get the whole game for $15. That's not on sale. You can get this game on sale for less than that. You get this whole game on sale. And I'm talking, you can spend hundreds of hours in this game. Hundreds of hours for $15. So, I'll link the Steam page for it. It's like a relationship building, farming, base, or like kind of a base builder, and also like a dungeon crawler and stuff. 89 on Metacritic. It's farming sim, life sim. You can do multiplayer in it and everything too. We keep talking about needing to play it here in the community. There you go. There it is on Steam if you want to check out some videos and stuff for it. So yeah, it's old school pixels, like kind of pixel graphics and stuff. But dude, it's supposed to be so you actually dungeon crawl and stuff too. So you go fight enemies and do stuff like that. But it's relationship building. It's farming sim. It's all kinds of stuff, dude. It's supposed to be really good. Yeah. But there's the link right there to it in chat if you need it. Okay. The new Steam beta UI user interface eats a full gig of RAM, dude. New Steam UI uses a full gig of RAM. Valve gives users the option to enroll in the beta channel of Steam. This means that the users who enroll get a chance to experience Steam updates before they officially release to the wider public. In doing so, users can provide feedback as to what needs fixing and how before the updates go live. It seems there has been an update that substantially increases the amount of memory that Steam needs to display its new UI. In a video posted to YouTube, you can see the Steam RAM issue in real time. In the video, you can see the system RAM usage spike to just shy of 6 gigs when Steam is open, a stark difference compared to when Steam isn't active, as RAM usage at that time peaks at around 4.6 gigs. When compared to our version of Steam on the standard release channel, we observe a peak memory usage of around 338 megs. Why is it using more memory? Yeah. It's got the top-down view. Yeah, so yeah, it would probably give you some Pokemon vibes, old school Pokemon vibes. Yep. If it isn't, well, if it isn't, if you have enough RAM to support the change, it isn't if you have enough RAM to support the change. However, if you have a low memory system, then every megabyte matters. According to the Steam hardware survey of May, around 25% of users play with 12 gigs of RAM or less, with 1 gig becoming more and more precious the further you move down the list. Yeah. So you can see here. Let me pull this. Okay. Well, that doesn't work, does it? So that's about as close as I can get to this. But you can see from their stats, it shows over 51, almost 52% of people on Steam are using 16 gigs of RAM. And then you've got almost 19% at 8 gigs, and then you've got almost 17% at 32 gigs, and then there's like small percentages at various. Oh, dude, it's probably Stardew. Yeah, that's Stardew. Thanks. I forgot to switch over to my library. Thank you. Sorry. So, yeah, it's Stardew music. My bad. I don't have my headset on right now. I don't have my headset on. Thank you. So, this is what I've been telling people anyways. If you're PC gaming right now, my advice is to like start working your way into at least 32 gigs of RAM. If not higher than that. At 32 gigs, you're going to be pretty solid right now. But the standard for a long time now has been like 16, right? Standard has been 16, but we're seeing software starting to take a lot more RAM usage. And games especially are starting to show recommendations of 32 gigs and stuff now. So I've kind of been telling people like you should go ahead and plan for the future at this point. If you've been running 16 gigs and you're on like 2 sticks of RAM, you should probably go ahead and just at some point in the near future try to grab another 2 sticks of RAM and double up. Get yourself to 32. Honestly, I'm sitting at 32 gigs on 2 sticks. I'm probably going to upgrade to 64 here before too long, just to make sure I'm not dealing with any issues for the foreseeable future, you know? Because we're hitting a transition period, it feels like, where for a long time, 16 gigs has been like the recommendation, where the minimum that recommendation has been like 8, right? And I think that this is changing over now. And we're kind of hitting a new transition where it's minimum requirements are starting to pop off as like 16 and recommendations 32. So at the very least, I think people should be looking to start running 32 gigs of RAM in their rigs moving forward. That way you're not going to run into any issues. Yeah. They need to get some optimization done in that game. It's really hardware intensive. So it's an early release of the game. So hopefully they'll get that figured out. But yeah, it's pretty brutal. Yeah, no doubt. Hopefully the issue will be resolved before the update hits the general public. Valve and its software, Steam, have been known for inefficiencies in the past. The Steam web-based chat revamps released in 2018 still have memory leaks and certain chat bugs present with the code to this day. This particular update was released 5 years ago. With that being said, we love Steam. We love the sleek new UI changes. Here's the more Steam optimization updates to keep a quarter of the Steam community grinning with 12 gigs or less memory. Yeah, but I mean, again, I think if you're PC gaming, I think you really got to start taking a look at getting closer to like 32 gigs of RAM nowadays. It's just going to benefit you in the long run, especially for the gaming side of things. When you start talking about like the AAA side of gaming and stuff, it's starting to get really heavy for RAM usage and stuff. So you're just going to have a better. And then the more you do gaming and additional stuff on the side, you're just going to have a better time having extra RAM, you know. So that's my recommendation, all right? This is the last article I have for the morning. We're gonna move on and do some V Rising gaming for the rest of the day. I'll pull up the schedule too for the. We'll talk about that also. If anybody has anything to add, let me know, and we'll try to address it before we move on to the gaming stuff for today. Okay. Oh, there you go, dude. There you go. Yeah, I've got two 16 gig sticks in my PC, and before long I'll probably just throw another couple of 16 in, and I don't see any reason why I'll need any more than that for the time being. So if something happens in the future, then what I'll do is I'll just take all that. I think at the next point, if I get to a point where I feel like I need more than 64 gigs of RAM in my PC, dude, I'll just build a new one. I'll just build a new one, and I think I'll be fine until it's time to build a new PC at that point. Yeah. So, um, awesome games done quick. 2023 raises over 2.6 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Not quite as much as they made last time, I don't think, but still a substantial amount. So, if you're not familiar with awesome games or with games done quick, again, shout out to Ferret. Thanks, buddy, for reminding me that finished up yesterday. But I'll get you guys some. They've got links in here. Actually, Games Done Quick is amazing. I love promoting this organization. They do multiple events each year. I think about 3 to 4 events, big events each year. Yeah, Mithril. Oh, primarily for Star Citizen. Takes 24 gigs of RAM on initial load. Yikers, dude. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's another thing is like browser windows can add up additional RAM pretty quick too. Yeah. Um. So Games Done Quick is awesome. It's basically a speedrunning event. They do like week-long events where it's just a bunch of speedrunning, right? Um, so it's all about generating. These events are about generating revenue for nonprofit organizations like Doctors Without Borders, Prevent Cancer Foundation, amazing organizations like that are out there trying to help people in the world. And so these games done quick events pop off for about a week at a time. It's a lot of speed run. It's like 24 hours every day, 24 hours, seven. Well, it's about 6.5 days worth, I think. So it it's really cool. They've got entire. I'll pull up their website. They've got schedules for every single event where it's like you can see what game they're running on what day at what time, and it's all about gamers coming together. It's very inclusive. Everybody has a good time. They've got announcers that like announce what's going on in the game, and quite often, because it's a week long of running all these different games, they'll have a few records, world records that'll be broken for speedrunning and stuff. And there's a bunch of hype that gets pushed out about that kind of stuff when it happens. And if you donate, you get in the running for some raffle giveaways for cool gaming stuff and everything like that. So if you're not familiar with Games Done Quick, I highly recommend checking it out. I'll pull up their website and show you. But the week-long 24-hour video game speedrunning marathon that raises money for charity has raised just over $2.6 million over this past week for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. According to Games Done Quick's official website, a GDQ 2023 featured 150 speedruns, raised a total of over $2.6 million from 39, almost 40,000 donations. The max donation was $100,000. The average donation was just over 66 US dollars, and the median donation was $25. AGDQ 2022 set a new Games Done Quick record by raising over $3.4 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. While this year's event didn't quite break any new records, it's still an incredible accomplishment the team accomplished that will make a difference for so many. Absolutely. The next big event for Games Done Quick will be Summer Games Done Quick 2023. Bro, this is the one that just... Wait, what? This was January. I pulled up the wrong one, dude. Get wrecked. Hold on. Wrong one. go to their official website. I pulled up the wrong flipping, what'd they make? No, that was right. Awesome. Games done quick, 2023.
We'll get them next time.
Well, it seems like they had the right amount in there, but the I don't know, maybe. Look. What? Home. Home. Let's go home. Give me a second. Game's done quick. Here we go. Let's get into this. No, we're not doing the stream stuff. Chill out. Offline. Show me. Bro, what's happening? Why is it redirecting? Oh, we got the googly eyes, dude. Another event. Should be this one. There it is. There it is. This is what was made. This was what was made right here. So basically what they got was 2.2 million. Max donation was 155,000. Average donation was $70 US, and median donation was 25. And this was for should have been Dr. Wait. What was this for? Doctors Without Borders, I think. Or Prevent Cancer. I don't know. Their website is being really funky right now, dude. I can't get anywhere on their flipping page right now. It's really messed up. Sucks. But I don't know why their homepage is showing this instead of their normal. Why is it showing the tracker, dude? This is what it should be showing you, okay? It's a very cool organization. I don't know why it keeps defaulting over to the tracker. Doctors Without Borders is it gives you the about for Games Done Quick, Marathon Tracker. All of their events have a schedule that you can look at. Here, I'm going to link this. It's a very cool organization. I highly recommend. It's very, very neat. They've got all kinds of like cool apparel and stuff. It's an amazing organization for charity and just a cool place to be a part of the gaming community and everything. Okay, so check that out. Highly recommend. Here's what I got. This is the last thing. Our June video game showcases. Let's talk about this for a second. So showcases are popping off Wednesday, starting Wednesday. Guerrilla Collective. I'm not going to be live on Wednesday, so here's what we're going to plan on doing. Today and tomorrow, my streams are going to be a little bit shorter because I have family in town I haven't seen in a while. And they came a long ways to see me, so I'm only going to go until about noon. So I'll only do about 6-hour streams from news through gaming. I'll end around lunchtime both of these days, okay? Then tomorrow or Wednesday will be a day off. We won't do Guerrilla Collective on Wednesday. We're going to watch the VOD of it on Thursday. Thursday, I'm going to do the news in the morning, and then I'm going to take a break because my family's going to be leaving that day. But that afternoon, we've got Summer Games Fest, Day of the Devs, and Devolver Digital all kicking off that afternoon through the evening. What we're going to do is we're going to watch the VOD of Guerrilla Collective at probably 1 o'clock my time. So maybe 12:30 to 1 o'clock. I'll find out how long the Guerrilla Collective one went, and then we'll watch it before Summer Games Fest kicks off. So I'll go live with enough time to watch the Guerrilla Collective VOD, and then we'll watch all of these live on Thursday, okay? So that's the plan. It's just a situation of having family come in to visit that I haven't seen in a long time. I don't get to see them very often, and I want to try to spend a little bit of extra time with them. So, and Thursday's the day they're leaving out, so I'll do the news, take the stream down for a little bit to take a little bit of extra time to see them before they leave, and then we will watch all the showcases together. Cool. This schedule, our normal schedule for the year of games we've played, we're going to be playing, potentially going to be playing also. along with the tab down here for the June showcase stuff. That's all available at !schedule, or it's pinned in our Discord channel, the main tavern channel, okay? Good stuff. That's the Jamalam, dude. That's the news. Now we can get some more music going. Let's go. Let's pop this guy off. This is what I want. There we go. Oh, baby. All right, man. You guys rock. I appreciate you. We are going to move on and play some V-Rising for the rest of the day today. Again, it'll be a bit shorter of a gameplay day, as I'll end around lunchtime today. But we'll still get a good chunk of gaming in. It'll be fun. We'll go create some more of our castle. Go kill some humans. Maybe make some prisoners. Who knows? It'll be only off Thursday so far. Yo, that's brutal, Psycho. But we'll have some fun gaming today and play some more V-Rising, okay? So before we head over there, I'll just say that if anybody is checking out this content or any of the other stuff we have on the YouTube channel or the Twitch channel as highlights, we've got other video gaming news segments, we've got clips from news segments, we've got entire playthroughs of games we've played and clips from those as well, like funny things that have happened and stuff like that. And if you're enjoying any of that content, I would ask you to come hang out with us. We go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day. We always start off with video gaming news before we dive into whatever gaming content we have planned for the rest of the day. We have an amazing community of individuals that are a part of what we do here on The Constant, and we would love more people to come hang out and be a part of what we do, okay? So other than that, man, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we will catch everybody tomorrow morning for more video gaming news on June 6th, all right?